I'm doing fantabulous.
Good to hear.
Fantastic.
Good
How
to
are you
hear,
doing?
my friend. Yes.
I'm jealous.
Matt, did you write the person's name that came from TikTok?
Yeah, it's the first part of the question.
It says it's Matt O'Toole,
What a tool.
Exactly.
Never heard that before.
subarctic seawolf,
Subarctic Seawolf.
if that is your real name.
We are on everything?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll the credits, and we're going to be quiet during the credits. Welcome to Kilts and Culture. I am Rocky. This is Eric.
Victorian England had a huge influence on the fashions and styles that were happening in Highland dress in Scotland.
Tartan is Scotland's gift to the world, and it is your personal heritage story. Howdy, boys and girls. Welcome to Kilts and Culture. I am Rocky. That's Eric.
Yo.
Today, special treat. We have O.P. Anderson's Aquavit. Ian, I'm going to bring you in for a sec. You are the one who brought the Aquavit.
Yes, I'm responsible for this.
Yes, he's responsible, and I see that he's not. Oh,
There he
is.
is.
There
Okay.
he is. Okay. So who was it that provided us the Aquavit?
Yeah, this was a gift from some Swedish friends. When I was growing up, we had Swedish neighbors. They've since gone back, but Maria and Helene were back visiting for my dad's celebration of life last year, and they brought this bottle for us. So I figured, in honor of the Nordic heritage tartan becoming real and live, we'd give it a try here on the air.
Sure.
Also, we just wanted to see Rocky cringe.
Yes. Yes, Aquavit is, I've had it before, but it's been many years. It's a strong taste.
Hey,
Not
if you
for
can't handle
everybody.
it,
Do you like
yeah,
it
kick
or
you out
no?
of the boat.
I don't recall liking it, but it's been a long enough time that I'm keeping an open mind, and I'm prepared to like it if I do,
Okay.
in fact,
It is worth
find it
noting
enjoyable.
that Aquavit is a medicinal liqueur.
Mm-hmm.
Dates back to about the 16th century, probably earlier, but that's the earliest record we have. And is basically, it's a distillate, liqueur like other liqueurs. So it's basically, you have an alcohol base and then you put stuff in it as an infusion. So the infusion elements are usually caraway and dill and some other herbs and stuff. And there's different versions in different countries, but it's like the drink of Scandinavia.
Sure.
Yep.
So, Ian, if you would you come collect your Aquavit?
Will do.
Is it Aquavit or Aquavit?
Aquavit.
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 Aquavit. So I said it wrong for the intro part. That's awesome. I don't speak Swedish. I don't know. All right. And while you are here, good sir, what tartan are you wearing today, Ian?
I am wearing my newest tartan. This is a brand new tartan from Lochcarron called the Old Scotland Tweed. Available now.
Very nice. It looks lovely.
That was featured on a recent episode of Loose Threads.
It
as I
was.
recall.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
So, Eric, what tartan do you and I have on today?
I'm colorblind, so I can't tell. No, this is the ever popular
Newly popular.
Nordic heritage.
Yes. The Eric and I designed this. We did a video actually designing it in real time and then edited the video down a bit. We've got this one woven up, and it arrived about 2 weeks ago or so.
Yeah. 2 weeks.
And this is my first kilt in it. Mine was finished 2 days ago. Yours is about the same. So
Yep.
our first official wearing of the Nordic Heritage tartan.
That's really cool.
Yeah, for all of the symbolism and everything that we put into it. You can either look on our website or check out the videos that we've done on YouTube about the stuff. The stuff.
You're so
The
articulate
meaning, the
today.
symbol. I know it's gonna be
Each
a
of the
long day.
colors has some meaning behind it, loosely based on classic elements of Nordic culture, Nordic lore.
Yes.
So you got everything from Thor and Freya and ice and sun crystals and
The sea.
granite and the sea and all that kind of
And
stuff.
the
So,
marled yarns. I still have the marled yarns, but that to me is what pulls at it.
absolutely amazing.
Yes. Okay. All right.
The first bolt's gone now, right?
Yeah. First bolt is finished. We have more on order. So we are hoping to have that, depending on when you're watching this, we should have that back, mid-September. But for right now, the first bolt, which I'm happy, but also I need more. Yeah. Anyway, not being very articulate. Let's get to the
You
Aquavit.
obviously need lubrication.
Aquavit.
so.
So, all right. Who has the notes on this?
Well, Eric already kind of said a lot of the things that were in the
There's
tasting
not
notes.
that many notes.
O.P. Anderson is from grain, so not unlike some whiskey styles.
Right.
Can be made from potato too, but this one is grain. 80 proof, seasoned with caraway, aniseed, and fennel. After distillation, it does mature in oak casks, so another similarity that it has to whiskey.
They don't always do that. Sometimes, or if they
No.
age it, they'll only age it for like a year.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Okay.
and that was actually a more
not-
recent.
Usually not aged nearly as long as whiskey, but that is
No.
something it shares in common with whiskey.
Mhm.
In addition to aquavit, meaning water of life,
Water
is,
of life.
you know, kind of a phrase that gets
Yishka
thrown around
Vaha.
about
Yep.
whiskey a lot as well. So
'Cause again, it was considered a cure-all. The theory was it was gonna
I'd say the big
make
difference
you
is
healthy.
going to be in the seasoning, of course. That's not something you'll typically find
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
in
When
whiskey.
when Eric read the original the flavor notes or profile whatever, he's like, oh, you know, it has caraway seeds. I'm like, oh, great. I love rye bread. I'm gonna like this. And then he read like all the other stuff that just kept like piling into it, like rosemary and sage and da 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 and frankincense and myrrh or something, and gold. He just like kind of like, oh, now they're gonna ruin it. They're putting all this stuff in it. But then again, I'm the guy who goes to the restaurant and I'm like, I just want a steak. Don't put all the stuff in it. Just give me a steak.
Yeah.
So now this is my first time smelling and or drinking this. I have not drank it yet. Jace tried it for Jace's Faces the other day, and something he said, I'm giving him credit for the comment because I 100% see it. It smells like hand sanitizer to me.
I smell it.
It smells like hand sanitizer with rye bread.
Yeah, it's the alcohol.
It does. Yeah.
It's just the alcohol burning off.
Yeah. And I think I've had
But
too much
caraway.
caffeine today because
Got
I'm
the
getting a
got the
headache.
caraway seeds. So.
Yeah.
Skull.
Skull.
Refreshing.
So notably, this is something that isn't just like a sipping thing that people tend to do. Like, you're not just going to sit with a bottle of this if you're a drunkard and sit and drink half the bottle over the evening. Generally considered like more like an aperitif. You might have this before dinner, especially with appetizers. While a lot of the medicinal qualities that people have attributed to it in the past have been largely disproven, it is still generally believed to be good at helping with digestion, especially
Right.
very rich and fatty
Mhm.
foods. So,
Which,
while it isn't,
or your lutefisk.
yeah, it is not the exclusive territory of holiday meals. It is very common to have this prior to a holiday meal at Christmas or at Easter. I'm sure there are a lot of folks that do associate it with those holidays because that's where they most often have it. But it is drank throughout the year.
And cocktails.
I've never had a cocktail with this. I'm sure they exist.
Oh, there are recipes, but I haven't ever looked into one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna want. Now I should. I really should.
To me, it tastes like it smells.
Yeah.
It does taste like alcohol and caraway seeds.
It's not complex the way a Scotch is going to be
Yeah.
Fair.
necessarily. I mean,
Fair.
Not in my opinion. I could be wrong.
No.
Definitely does feel like it's in the family of whiskeys and things, though.
I'm trying to
It's soothing,
smell
man.
anything else in there. What were the other things that were supposed to be in it? And this is all in Swedish, so I can't understand any of it.
There's caraway, aniseed, fennel.
Anise, I
Wow.
get a little bit. Yeah, I get
There's
a
no
little bit
dill
of
in
anise.
this one.
There is typically dill in aquavit. I don't have
thought
the
I was
full
tasting
notes
some,
here,
but-
though. I'm not certain.
Okay. Now you say it's not it's not typically sat around and sipped. Is it like shot,
Some
or is
peop-
it?
Some people do it that way.
Yeah.
I think particularly in Sweden, where this one is from, it is more common to have it chilled and to do it as a quick shot.
Yeah.
But I think in Norway it is much more common to drink at room temperature and to sip it. So
Yeah.
there's definitely a variety of ways people consume.
See why I'm sipping it?
Aquavit.
Because I'm Norwegian.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm Danish, so also Nordic.
Cool.
Depending
You're the
on
ones
who you ask.
you're the earliest record of it comes back to use guys's. It was some Danish bishop or something who recommended it to a Swedish lord or Swedish king. I forget.
Okay.
It's like, hey, this will fix what's ailing you. So
For the record, I'm of no relation to the Anderson of O.P. Anderson. That is not a distant grandfather or uncle or something like that.
Okay.
I'm not trying to benefit.
All right.
Recommending on the show.
It's got hurg. Hurg. I always get that pronunciation screwed up, but
Got it. I can taste the hygge.
no, seriously.
I don't know what
hygge
hygge is.
Coziness, warmth, comfort, and security, sense that
Okay.
everything's good and calm and
If you drink enough of
safe
it,
and
yes,
comfy
I can believe that.
and warm. It's especially a fall and winter thing.
Now, see, I'm not getting like a warmth going down like I do from some scotches or whiskeys. It's not like, I don't think we have it chilled. I didn't put it in the
No.
fridge or freezer or nothing. But it's cool.
It's my imagination. I'm just gonna imagine sitting in my room, in my living room with my wood stove. Yeah, drinking this on a cool evening. So
Yeah, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was
that's
really
high praise coming from you.
It actually is. I was very prepared to give this a super low score. I wouldn't necessarily order it, but I wouldn't refuse it. So it's not my cuppa, but for what it is, it's not like horrible. I'm not like, ugh, that tastes cheap or anything like that.
Yep. No.
Yeah.
I think it's worth noting that we have divine approval for what we're doing today, because you guys probably can't hear it, but there's a thunderstorm right now. So
Exactly.
Thor came by to say, "Right on, guys."
Exactly. All right, Ian. Let's rate it 1 to 10. What do you give Opie Anderson's Akavit?
Opie.
I have difficulty with this only because I treat it like an experience more than I can treat it as a consumable. Like, I'm not going to keep this around all the time and make this a regular part of my rotation, but it's fun to try. It's fun to share with friends and get their reactions. So I'm enjoying the experience. And that is coloring my answer here. I guess I'll go like a solid 6.5. I don't think I've ever said anything that high.
It's also odd because we're using our whiskey scale for a liqueur.
We've done it
it's
before.
Yeah.
Okay. Eric, what would you give Akavit?
8.5.
8.5.
If I went any lower, I'd be insulting my ancestors.
Now, have you had other Akavits before?
Yes, but I can't name names because it's been
Okay.
a long time, honestly. I
How
cannot
does
remember
this-
what brand it was?
How does this measure up? Not naming names, but how does this measure up to what you've had before?
Again, because it was a long time ago, I can't give you specifics like, oh, well, this is a bit heavier on the caraway. It's warm and familiar.
Okay.
It's like a comfort food of alcohol. Yeah, for me.
This is the only brand I've ever had, because our Swedish friends have often been kind to share it with us.
Okay.
But Michael McCracken has pointed out we have made a tactical error here. You're supposed to sing before you drink it.
We'd like
a
people to
whole-
stay
There's
tuned
There's a
in.
You don't
whole
wanna hear that.
Swedish song.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've heard it. I vaguely could get the tune of it.
My friend Rick Oberg belongs to like a Swedish American society. He's up in the Baston area, and yeah, he goes to the club and they will do the whole drinking song thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Akavit, and they'll do drinking songs with anything really, but he goes and does that like all the time.
And are you supposed to open this up with water or just as is? Because
I
it's
think
a
just as
liqueur.
is.
Okay.
Just as is.
Yeah.
But I'm not
percentage?
You
certain.
could open it with water. I mean,
40% by volume. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's similar-esque, a little bit lighter than a Scotch, but not too much. Okay. All right. I would give it. I'll do 4.1. I wouldn't go out of my way to get it, but if someone gave it to me, I would drink it. So yeah, I will finish the Akavit that I have here. So as to not to insult Eric's ancestors and the Nordic Heritage Tartan. So, and I hear more thunder. So Thor is
Yep.
pleased.
yep, Hail Thor.
Exactly.
Delish.
Halon Gore.
You doing that? You found that somebody's posting the lyrics of the song?
No, I just know it.
Oh, okay.
I can't do any more than that correctly. It would just turn into gibberish, and I would insult my ancestors to go any
There
further.
on goes
But that's like
something. All
Aaron go Wait, no.
boats and stuff. And
All right, boys and girls, load in your questions, comments, thoughts into the comment section below. We are here, but your humble servants, to answer any questions you have about kilts, tartans, Celtic culture.
Yep.
And knowing that I had a questionable beverage, brought it back up. But again, not a bad original.
Maybe
So-
you should just hand this over now. Just get
Sure.
it over with. Okay.
Sure.
Thank you.
Indeed. Cheers. All right, Eric.
Hey, I'm gonna go through this one that just came in. Thank you to brother Matt who collected this from somebody on TikTok like right before we went live. And it's a bit of a puzzler for me. I've never had a really great answer for this one, so we're gonna dive in with this. Subarctic Sea Wolf from TikTok asked, do you have any ideas on how to get a workplace to allow kilts as part of the dress code? We're a university and dress is business casual. And I think that's a fantastic question. I've never felt like there was a satisfactory, solid right way or wrong way to do this. It's more of a touchy-feely, building the relationship with management kind of a thing, in my estimation. But you had some thoughts.
First, I would say there's multiple factors at play. One, how much do you like your job? If you're like 50-50, you're like, I can always look for another job. It's just, I'm just paying the bills kind of thing. In that instance, I would say, sure, do it. Who cares? If your job doesn't mean that much to you and you really want to wear a kilt, sure, go out and do it and see what happens. If you are, needing the job, or if you like your job, then I would say, first, check the employee handbook. See if there's anything against or what the approved, using my air quotes, what the approved dress code is. If there's one for males, if it's separate than one for females, or if there's just one for everybody, if they allow women to wear skirts during summer or all year round, you may be able to say like, well, I'm wearing a kilt because I'm allowed, and it's past the fingertip rule, so I'm good to go. If there are like, not that for a university there wouldn't be like OSHA type concerns necessarily, but making sure there's no concerns about that. The pushback from management would probably be if you are in a forward-facing role, or if there's a concern about about a safety or something like that. I could potentially see it, but outside of that, most offices are kind of a little bit more open to guys wearing kilts, and. Yeah, so I might start there either by doing the research, or if you really, really love your job and this is your dream job, and aside from the fact that, you don't think you're allowed to wear kilts, you love everything else about it, the pay is over the moon, in that case, I would probably go to HR and say like, hey, here's a crazy idea. Do you care if I wear kilts? And can I have somebody sign off on this? And then, kind of work it into the wardrobe on casual Fridays or whatever.
Yeah. I think Casual Fridays is definitely a starting point, and having a good relationship with your immediate manager is almost always essential. I will say that we have met, I think academic places tend to actually be a little easier going on this. We've met a couple of people over the years who work in a it's the Akvi. We've met a few people who work in the academic field over the years who are able to wear kilts all the time, and they become known as the teacher or the professor who wears the kilt, and it's fine. I think that the public-facing thing is definitely a factor. Your geography might be a factor. If you're in a more conservative part of the country, it's possible that they're gonna see it as alien and not the proper thing to do. Like I had a friend who used to work at a hospital down in Tennessee, and the hospital had religious sponsors. So he had sleeve tattoos. He had to wear long sleeve shirts in Tennessee, even in August, because they could not have the patients or anyone else seeing the tattoos. If you're in that kind of a high tension situation, maybe things aren't going to work out. But I think if you're in a middle class job, like if you're in a cubicle or behind the desk doing data stuff or whatever, you probably have pretty good chances of them being okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if they were going to wear a kilt, let's assume they get permission, what do they wear for a business casual type outfit to the office?
Depends. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah. Business casual is very simple these days. So
yeah, and it depends on what other people are wearing. I would, as a starting tack, I would probably be a touch dressier, just to make sure people don't think it's too casual.
Right.
So I wouldn't wear like a tie-dye shirt and flip-flops with a kilt to the office. Be like, oh, it's business casual. No, I'd probably like.
Just don't. Anyway.
Yeah, don't do that ever. But if let's say the other people in the office are wearing like a button-down shirt and tie, but they don't have a jacket on, then sure, I would wear maybe a dress shirt and a vest. Or if they're wearing polos, then I wouldn't go below polo for a business casual in an office kind of thing. I would probably wear kilt hose and flashes. I wouldn't go sneakers necessarily. I may wear like, wingtips or ghillie brogues with kilt hose, flashes, kilt, a nice day sporran belt and buckle, and polo would probably be where I would land, unless everyone else